Growing up, I thought fair would pay off. 20 years later, I played by the rules, I worked my tail off, and I almost qualified for food stamps. Here's the truth about fairness that was never really told to us. Growing up, my family was all about fairness. And, every time we'd have ice cream, we would all have the same amount of scoops in our ice cream. And every time my mom got us gummy bears, I would be the one to separate the gummy bears. One pile from me, one pile from my sister, one pile from my other sister. Yeah, that's just the way it was. And my parents did nothing wrong. This was all out of love. And I'm not trying to insult them in any way. They want us to be good people, and we are good people. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. But so here's the problem with that nobody tells you about being the nice guy. I've always been known as the nice guy. So fast forward to my 20s, I'm out at the bar with my best friend Chris, and I'm known as the nice guy, and he's known as the bad guy. He's not a bad guy, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, guys. And so Chris had this move at the bar. You do this shoulder shrug, and apparently that was his move. And 3 shoulder shrugs, buddy, that's all it takes. And we would start talking to girls, and the girls would say, "Hey, can you buy us a drink?" And Chris would say, like, "No, I'm not gonna buy you a drink, but my buddy will buy you a drink." Who do you think the buddy is? Me. I'm the buddy. I'm the one who has to buy the drinks. Well, I don't have to, but I'm the nice guy, right? And so here's the crazy part. These girls would buy him cake. They would buy him clothes. They would drive him. They would pick him up. They would clean his room. Meanwhile, I'm buying drinks for all these strangers and getting absolutely nothing except for a bar bill every night. I'm like, wow, that was a large bill. Any other nice guys out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Drop a comment if you ever been the buddy. I remember thinking, what's wrong with this picture? I mean, this bad guy, Chris, you're not bad, buddy, but he gets all this good stuff. That was like the first clue that maybe fairness isn't exactly how the world operates these days. So, fast forward to me working at my current job. I've been at the same job for over 20 years. So I do love the company I work for. And so here's the thing that really blows my mind, though, is like when I first started there, we got pay raises based off of how hard we worked. The better we worked, the better score we got, we would get a bit bigger raise. Well, that eventually stopped because some people were upset that other people were getting bigger raises than others. Well, obviously you're probably working less. So now we all get the same pay raises, regardless of how hard we work. And I feel like I'm a really hard worker. I'm a guy who I don't do the bare minimum, and now I get rewarded the same as the other person that maybe works hardly at all. And I've been very loyal, and the fact that I almost qualify for food stamps now because my wages can't keep up with the cost of living, it's so embarrassing. It hurts so much, and that's definitely put a chip on my shoulder here. And I'm not upset with my employer. This is all on me. It's all my fault. Every action in my life has been my fault. I'm angry at myself more than anything because I thought being nice and working hard was going to be enough. I used to think that people cared about me the way that I care about myself, but the truth is no one's going to come and save me. And I've learned that the hard way. And that part stings. The people that get ahead in life, they're not the ones that work hard or the nicest people. They're the ones that actually know the rules. They're the Chris's. He knew exactly which buddy would buy those drinks every time. Nice work, man. Head of the game. I love you, buddy. But it's not just about the bars. It's everywhere. People will always root for you, but they've got their own problems. We all have our own problems, and your problems are being more important than my problems. That's just. I feel like that's almost like common sense. So I've always sat around waiting for someone to notice my hard work and reward it. Well, I'm still waiting, of course, because that's not going to happen. So I had to learn to be selfish, but to be selfish in the right reasons, of course. Selfish for my family. Sometimes that means, just saying no to things that aren't beneficial to my family. Sometimes it means always putting my family's needs ahead of everybody else's. Because that is the way to go. So I'm done playing by these rules that actually don't even exist, and I want to prove to myself and to my family and to the universe that I'm going to change. And you know what? My daughter's actually already getting it, I feel like. And it's amazing to see. She's learning to do things the right way, just by, I feel like, the actions that my wife and I are taking. She's able to say no to people in a very nice way, and she's not giving into peer pressure, and that makes my wife and I so proud that she's able to do this. So hey, I guess we're doing something right here with the parenting. So here's what I wish someone would have just told me 20 years ago is just like, life is not fair. I think we are all starting to realize that, but you can be a good person. You can still teach your kids to be kind and everything, but we can't teach them to be naive. That's that's just not how the world is these days. The good news is that once you see the game for what it is, you can start playing to win, and that's what I'm doing. I feel like we don't have to accept this anymore on the way we think life should have been. It should be fair because that's just a different life. So, what fair rule have you been following that's maybe holding you back with your life? I'd like to know in the comments, and can't wait to talk about this again because I feel like this is such a big topic to talk about.